What do we know about how many people are watching, and for that matter, how, Kevin?
Well, we've been crunching the numbers all week, tracking very carefully just how much of an impact this virtual Democratic National Convention is actually having. And if you look at some of the numbers, it's been significantly down in total overall television, keyword television viewership compared to 2016. Just look at that chart of the 2016 viewers on day one, 26 million. This go around, 19.7. Day two, 24.7 mil. Day two of this cycle, 19.2 million. And then, of course, day three in 2016, nearly 25 million people. And just last night, 22.8 million people watching Senator Kamala Harris give her big speech as accepting the vice presidential nomination for the Democratic Party. But this is really where it gets interesting, because it's a virtual convention, David, but it's a viral campaign. And if you look at DNC digital viewership, they've nearly tripled on the digital end, all the way up to pushing toward 28.9 million people on the day one. And those are the latest numbers that we have available for us in terms of digital viewership. So some questions for sure. I'm told when I talk to Democratic strategists, you look at all these speeches, whether it's former First Lady Michelle Obama or, of course, Dr. Jill Biden or last night Senator Kamala Harris, they're going to be packaging and repackaging these not just for cable news cycles, but also for social media platforms. And they're hoping that this will give new life to the virtual convention. I can also tell you that behind me, the occupant of the White House and his reelection campaign, they're carefully watching from a procedural standpoint how they can better capitalize on some of the decline in viewership for next week's Republican turn for the Republican convention. David?
Kevin, it's Jeannie, and it's so good to talk to you. And I have my question is just where you were going. You know, what do you bet President Trump is going to be saying next week about viewership on the RNC? Because I have a feeling we're going to be hearing an awful lot about how he has beat the Democrats in terms of numbers, whether it's live television or streaming. And I wanted to know what your thoughts are and how the RNC is going to play this as they try to beat the DNC next week.
Something tells me that he's ready to say, challenge accepted, Jeannie. And in fact, I think back to the rally that he gave in Oklahoma. And remember that massive rally, and when it was heavily criticized by the political class as well as Democrats, and even some Republicans for going against some of the social distancing guidelines from the top medical officials, he said, hey, look at the record that he set on Saturday night viewership for Fox News. So he's got his eyes not just on the polls, but on viewership.
Hey, Kevin, this is Rick. Good to see you tonight. This is an exciting night to be with you. Following all of this, part of the message, too, is that television viewership has been down over the last 10 years significantly. I mean, I know the convention that I ran for John McCain's nomination in 2008, both Barack Obama and John McCain got over 35 million viewers for their speech. But the denominator has reduced, right? I mean, people aren't watching television like they've done in the past. And you would see a natural increase anyway, wouldn't you, over the internet?
Well, I was geeking out talking to you offline just about the dynamics of the McCain and Palin convention, and you were just explaining just sort of the pomp and circumstance, to put it mildly, and the pageantry, and how political junkies really had to try to create moments on every single night. What once was the moments and the photographs on the front pages of the major newspapers in the morning have now become the moments that are going to go viral on your cell phone. And that's really where the political strategists are playing, Rick, in this era as we enter into, again, that virtual campaign.